In the last 10 days, we've crossed 6 states and driven over 2,500 miles so that we can get our first home on the market. We need to do that to keep things moving forward out here.
Baby and funny way.
Wouldn't be a road trip if we didn't lose a tire at some point.
No, of course not.
Got her done?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Where are the keys?
Where's my shoe?
I haven't touched your keys.
Where's my shoe? I want my shoe.
On the drive out, we picked up my dad because we were able to find airline tickets one way into Knoxville, which is kind of our halfway point, for under $100. Drove him all the way home with us with no AC in the excursion. Mm-hmm. Sitting in the back seat with Wade and Dave so that he could come help us do manual labor.
And get some decent.
Which we're eternally grateful for because we ended up needing all the help that we could get.
So we actually have 2 properties in North Carolina. We have the Barndo that we built, and then before that, while we were building the property, we found like a 30-year-old double wide down the road that was our first home.
We got it for a steal.
We did really get it for a steal. It was really, really cheap. So, and it's on a little bit of property, well, septic, all that stuff.
We bought the trailer in February of 2021, and we bought it directly from the owners, no agents involved, for like $65,000. Double wide trailer, well, septic, electric,
Almost
all functioning on almost an acre. Within 4 miles as the crow flies of the Atlantic, between 2 of the best beaches in North Carolina, in a great school district. We felt super lucky. Mm-hmm. But it needed a lot of work.
And it was down the road from where we were building the barnuminium.
Yep.
On the same road.
We immediately got to work. Actually, before we closed on the house, we went and bought flooring for it that we found on Facebook Marketplace for a super steal. Mm-hmm. Woody replaced the water heater. Alright, this is the water heater cave. Let's see. It's really kind of gross in here. So Eric went ahead and fixed the floor. This was like just open to the ground for some reason. Everything here where the pan is going to sit was moved over. It was originally like on this side of the block. Now everything's over here. And much higher because we went from a 30-gallon tank to a 40-gallon tank, which is like much bigger in size. Absolutely huge compared to the small one that was in here before. And then we had the AC replaced. Yep, we had the ducting fixed under the trailer.
And the vapor barrier. Plus unlimited.
And the vapor barrier. And the
doors. We had the doors replaced, all three, front, side,
And
back.
a couple windows.
Couple windows. Bunch of the siding on the back got replaced. We took out all of the never cleaned, never tended to 20-plus-year-old carpet.
Oh, they had cats.
They had a lot of cats.
Very nice old people that own the place, but
Super sweet, but really into cats.
yeah.
Alright, I ran out of viable flooring that we have here. I have to go back to storage and get more, but the kitchen, laundry, dining, living room is all dang near done. I've got that hallway, that little area by the door, and this area, and then the living room is done. So first thing tomorrow I get to finish that in the hallway and then move into that little bathroom right there.
Then we basically moved in when the house was still in shambles.
We found a free sofa. Recliner sofa.
We did. The 3-seater.
Also cat problems.
Cat situation. We got a good cover for it, though.
Mm-hmm.
We did basically everything that we could do, or everything that we had to do to move in.
Oh, and then the master bathroom. Like cleaned all the irons.
Oh, the shower!
Cleaned all the iron stains off the shower. We built that, like, you converted a
The dresser.
dresser into
dresser.
a sink vanity thing.
Yep. Got rid of the giant, gross garden tub.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why every trailer comes with a giant garden tub, but the one that we had when I was a kid had the same tub with the double wall of mirrors.
And the track up top for the big curtain thing.
Yeah. I don't understand. But whatever. We did a lot of... Oh, the water softener.
Oh, yeah, we put a water softener, and then at one point I had to replace a well pump.
Yeah. We did a lot of work on that
So.
place. And
We met this couple, and we kind of took them under our wing. We knew that we could, it was a long shot, but we wanted to give them a chance. So they were our tenants for a while. And since we've been gone for the last couple months, it's kind of gone
south fast.
south pretty fast.
This is the first time we've ever rented a property to someone ourselves. We signed a 1-year lease with them. While we were physically there for more than 6 months of their lease, they took great care of things. I had to go into the house to repair things, to meet with people. Like, the house was always, and it was always spur of the moment, but so they were keeping the house really clean. And I guess as soon as we left to come out here, they just gave up on that, which was really kind of shocking for us. We thought we were going back to take care of the barndominium and pack our stuff and get prepared to come back and be here for a while. And we ended up spending more than half of our few days that we had there just trying to clean up the outside of the house a little bit. And we could not have been prepared for the inside. That was a really hard one. Alright, so I'm gonna go take a look in the house real quick, but I'm not staying very long. I need to go to Lowe's and get some insecticide and flea bombs and probably trash bags. Yeah. Oh my god, the smell. The smell. Apparently there's fleas in this room. That's disgusting. What happened to the toilet? That's holy crap. Look at that fly strip. Oh my god. Like, it's disgusting. We plan on selling this property so that we can finish building up what we need to out here and make some really big strides in improving this place and getting it to a point where we can move out here full time with our kids and have a place for everything and infrastructure and get animals.
Yeah.
So it was really heartbreaking when we got in there and saw how they had left the place. So as they got working on that, I was coordinating with the renters to make sure that they were going to be getting out on time, because initially when we left, they were supposed to be out on the 25th. And we had lined up help for getting any junk hauled off. I had a cleaner on standby. I had spoken to a couple of people who wanted to come see the house because we were going to offer it to our immediate neighbors in that area first. And at the last minute, as we pulled into town, everything kind of shifted. And they pooped all over our plans. So, the story with these kids, really, because they're pretty young, is that they have been together for a long time. They share a child. They're under 25, and they're both come from pretty dysfunctional backgrounds. And we gave them all the help in the world that most families wouldn't give people. So one of the things that we did was help them buy a car when their car died. We loaned them the money, no interest, to buy the car and to pay 6 months premium for insurance, because there's no way I am giving someone 6 months drive around in a car that I'm in any way associated with they don't have insurance on. Not doing that. So we did that before we left to come to the cabin, and they had 6 months to pay it off. And didn't do a great job of that, but at the last minute, they came up with the money, were able to pay it off. So we met them the first day that we were there so they could pay off the car and we could get the title signed over because we had a lien on the title. Well, it was paid off and titled to her. So she went right after we signed the title over and got it registered in her name, and apparently immediately went and cheated on the dude. Like,
with somebody who knows.
Like left the title office and went and cheated. From our understanding. So that was bad.
That ended that. We already knew they had some problems.
Yeah.
So.
But come to find out that she had planned on leaving on the 25th, and had never coordinated that with him. So we were communicating with her, not knowing that he had no idea what was going on. And
but he was still paying for the car.
Yeah.
Mostly paying for the car and the insurance.
Yeah.
And part of the deal, I guess, for them to pay off the rest of it was her mom paid off the rest of it under the stipulation that she got the title in her name.
Yeah.
So he fell for that too. We just signed the title over. It was in his name, technically.
That's not my business, really.
Yeah.
But it is really crappy. Absolutely no integrity in that situation. She bounces. She was supposed to have a walkthrough with us on Saturday morning on the 25th.
But she would go.
And so I texted her Saturday morning and said, can we do the walkthrough? Because I hadn't been in the house yet at that point. I'd just seen the outside. And she said, oh, we left at 3 a.m., meaning her and her mom, who drove many hours with a U-Haul to come get her and the 3-year-old kid that they share.
And their giant ass dog.
Like, Great Dane dog. So they left at 3 a.m. without telling us. We didn't do the walkthrough, and then we had to wait another day or two to get into the house because he wasn't returning phone calls or text messages all of a sudden. That was a little scary, honestly. Oh, the fire!
Yeah.
We forgot about the fire!
Yeah, I just remember that. You forgot to mention the fire, too. So this was like 2 days or 3 days before
the night before we left.
Yeah, the night before we left here to go there.
He called me frantic.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It wasn't even a text. It was a guy who's called me once in 3 years, called me frantic at 9:30 at night.
It was like, there might be a fire at your house.
My son's a fireman and he's responding to a fire at your house. And
We're like,
what?
So she immediately starts texting and trying to get a hold of the two tenants. You can tell the rest.
Trying to get a hold of these two. Neither one of them are responding to me. And then we're trying to get a hold of the next door neighbor, but it's like 10 o'clock at night there because they're an hour ahead. So they have little kids, and I wasn't even sure if they knew or had known that there was a fire or whatever. So eventually they don't call me back, but they start texting me. And the girl texts me that, oh, sorry, so the baby was in the bath, blah, blah, blah. And she's like all nonchalant and says basically that like, oh, it was blown out of proportion. We were just burning brush. And then a few minutes later, I finally get a text from the guy basically saying the same thing, only he sends me a video to go along with it.
So there's the shed. I originally was going to do it here, but I did it once and it shot sparks near the house, so I moved it. I took the shovel and the hoe and I kind of dug up an area right here. I put all the excess mud and grass right here. I'll fill that in when we leave, but I do it right here. It's about 15-20 feet away from the shed. I got all the brush and wood cut up, stacked right here. It's in a safe area and I don't do big fires. It was just stupidity on my end. I was right here, I poured the gas in like that, and it came back and just shot up in the spout, and I just kind of turned and whipped it, and it landed right here, which was right by the shed, terrifyingly so. The only reason I called the fire department was because it shot up and burnt a little bit of this Japanese maple. That was the only reason I called, but it was 100% contained, and this is 1000% contained. This is as big as the fire will get. I'm just going to add the logs to it and slow burn them because I don't need repeats of that.
He immediately messaged and said that our neighbor, his next door neighbor, our old neighbor,
who we know very
well, like needs to mind his own business.
Yeah.
Like he was the one that called, right? And then in the video,
the only reason I called the fire department was because...
So initially it was, oh, that guy needs to mind his own business. Also, I called the fire department because I freaked out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why? Like, why?
We were leaving on that note to go there, so we knew it was going to be, like, eventful.
So yeah, so she left first and just left him with... He rolls up the first day. We're there to actually start cleaning stuff up, right? Because we spent, 3 days of our 7 days there, 8 days there, something like that, just working on that house. And he's like, oh, like she left and it wasn't like this before.
She cheated on a Thursday. I was gone Friday, Saturday. And when I got back on Sunday,
It looked like this. Yeah. Okay.
Like, we've lived in houses. We lived in this house for 2 years. We've had dogs. Like, no. Bull.
There were multiple generations of fruit flies in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And throughout that whole side of the house.
This is disgusting. I think what happened was, as soon as we said we weren't renewing the lease, they, for the last 3 months, just said, F it. F it. We're not taking care of the yard. We are not taking our trash to the dump. We're just going to pile it on the porches. We are not cleaning up after our dog. We are not cleaning the floors. We're not cutting the grass. Like, we're not doing anything. We're just living here. Like, I can't describe to you the smell. The smell in that house was horrific.
It was like dog pee, rotting food, just like human grease.
Yeah.
Just,
yeah. But to give you an idea of just how out of our way we went to try to help this family, all the time that we spent back in North Carolina between when we left in pretty much New Year's last year to when we came back to the cabin, all of those months, I was making them dinner. Every week, once a week, I would make them dinner and send it home with them. I took them to the food bank. I tried to help them get set up with food assistance. I bought clothes for their daughter. They
had some relationship problems. I think they had a lot of relationship problems.
They have a lot of problems.
But in any case, we didn't know the full story, but we were like, we sat them down and we're like, hey, you know, we're not much older than you, but like you guys are really young, and I know you guys don't like each other right now, but you guys need to
You have an opportunity here.
come to an understanding with each other about how you're going to proceed forward, because your daughter is the one that's going to suffer based off of your decisions. She's either going to suffer or she's going to be much better off. So, you know.
Yeah.
And we tried to give them essentially a lifeline or some dry land to stand on for a while, to kind of get their legs under them and maybe turn the corner, you know?
Yeah, we rented to them way under market. We didn't ask them to do anything crazy as far as upkeep with the house.
We let them have a dog that was huge.
We let them have the huge dog. I tried teaching her how to cook. Like I said, I made them meals. We left them a bunch of stuff to get started in the house. Like
we allowed them to, when we were gone last, we allowed them to have the eggs from our chickens and sell them. Mm-hmm. They complained about that. We allowed them to cut down some of the trees in the backyard and sell firewood. We paid them to watch. We took money out of their rent, essentially, payment, to watch the chickens, and they did a terrible job doing that too.
Yeah.
So
if you guys remember the video we did last year where we said we went back to the barn dominium after the cabin, you saw the condition of the coop. They did a terrible job. So
yeah, and at every turn it wasn't like sincere apologies, you know, I messed up, I'm sorry. It was like, you don't know who you're talking to. I've been doing this my whole life.
It was like, you know, feeling insulted.
Yeah.
When we were unhappy with anything that we paid them to do, and it just really did not work out.
Yeah, and we
knew it was a gamble. It
Yeah.
wasn't like we went into this thinking these people are going to change their lives.
Yeah, no, it was more of just we
prayed about it.
We prayed about it. We gave them a shot.
Yeah, it was for the kid.
I don't know. Maybe eventually it'll rub off, or they'll realize or something, or I don't know.
All that to say, we are now in a position where we are going to try to sell this house, and there's a lot to do.
Yeah. So while Megan was working with the renters and packing her stuff inside, clothes and baby stuff. We had everything staged and we're ready to start packing up, but before we could do that, we needed to build stake sides for the trailer.
With half our week spent cleaning up the trailer, we were in a time crunch to get packed and back on the road to Arkansas. We stuffed the trailer with anything we thought we'd want or need and hoped for the best. I refused to drive back in the excursion without AC, so Wade and I took off ahead of the guys in my car.
Okay, it's 5:30. Gonna get packed up and start our journey. 16 hours or so, give or take.
So we are getting ready for our first stop. We're gonna stop at Chick-fil-A and get gas and breakfast and everybody go potty. The boys are maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours behind us. Probably close to an hour and a half. But they just took off not too long ago, and hopefully Wade and I will be able to keep our lead pretty good. That way, if anything happens, we are in the clear and they can they can scoop us up and help us out. Wade, are you ready for breakfast? All right, about ready for breakfast.
The guys drove straight through to avoid parking the trailer anywhere overnight loaded like that, but Wade and I stopped just inside the Missouri line. We're only a few weeks out from having our second baby, and with that in mind, I did my best to soak up all the moments with him on this trip. No iPad, no podcasts, just me and my boy, singing, chatting, snacking the whole way back to Arkansas.
We're back. We'll go ahead and load that. Park the trailer, grab the 450, and move some more stuff. Okay, we got everything in there that we're going to take out for now. Now we got to park that guy over there where that green or that blue tub is. We'll come get the dump cylinder off this either tomorrow or later today. Underneath there, and then the rest of it can stay until we find a place for it. That's a chicken run. I think we're going to use it for a greenhouse, put plastic over it. So.
This trip was a headache, to say the least. After all the driving, cleaning, coordinating, and packing, it's good to be back. The relief of knowing the house is going on the market soon is indescribable. Funds from this sale will get us so far ahead here and take a big responsibility off our plates. We learned a whole lot from this experience, and we are glad it's over. But now, it's time to get back to work on the solar container. So, we will see you next week. Thanks for joining us.